The desert of Nirith glowed under twin suns, their light slicing through jagged canyons like molten blades. Dust swirled around Lieutenant Kael Draven as he stepped from the hovering shuttle, boots crunching against alien sand that shimmered like scattered gemstones. He inhaled sharply, tasting the metallic tang of the air, laced with ozone and the faint scent of something ancient. Before him, atop a jagged cliff that pierced the sky like a spear, stood the dragon woman. Her scales shimmered with a metallic hue, half silver, half gold, reflecting the harsh suns in a blinding dazzle. Her eyes burned like molten cores, and wings folded behind her like cathedral spires, each movement resonating with the hum of some hidden energy. "If you are a true warrior," she said, voice like grinding steel and rushing wind, "tame my metallic dragon. 96 have tried. All have failed." Kael felt a thrill surge through his veins. The legends of the dragon woman had haunted human colonies for decades. Alien mercenaries, genetically enhanced beasts, even entire teams of the galaxy's finest soldiers had fallen before her. Yet here he was, standing not as an experiment, not as a pawn, but as a human, alone, determined, unstoppable in spirit. The dragon stirred behind her, scales clashing with a sound like thunder striking crystal. Smoke curled from his nostrils, carrying whispers of forgotten stars. Kael tightened the straps on his exosuit, sensors lighting up along his arms. His pulse synced with the alien energy around him. "Humans," she said, voice dropping into a growl. "You're fragile, weak, and fleeting. You survive by chance, not by might." Kael stepped forward, boots pressing into the sparkling sand, feeling it give beneath his weight. "Fragile," he said, voice steady. "Perhaps, but humans adapt. Humans endure, and humans overcome." The dragon woman tilted her head, intrigued, yet skeptical. Her tail lashed the ground, carving deep trenches as the air shimmered with the latent heat of her presence. With a roar, the metallic dragon took flight, scales glinting like falling stars, wings slicing through the atmosphere with impossible grace. Kael's eyes tracked its every movement. He could feel the power in his chest, that relentless pulse that humans carry when confronted with the impossible. The challenge was clear: survive the dragon, earn its respect, or be shredded by claws and fire. The first wave of fire erupted, sizzling the sand in a furious storm of heat. Kael rolled, sensing the vibrations through the ground. This was no ordinary beast. Every strike was a test of instinct, every breath a puzzle of timing and perception. Kael ran, leaping across crystalline outcrops, heart hammering, muscles burning. The dragon followed, calculating, testing, mocking, but not yet striking with full force. He touched the blade at his hip, a human-forged weapon of star steel. Its core pulsed with a magnetic hum, resonating with the dragon's energy. He realized then the secret of surviving her challenge was not brute force alone. It required intelligence, intuition, and a willingness to confront fear head-on. With every dive, every narrow escape, Kael learned the rhythm of the metallic beast. The canyon walls around them vibrated with each beat of its wings, echoing like a galactic drum. For hours, they danced, a human and a dragon locked in a test older than the stars themselves. Kael felt the sweat burn his eyes, sand scrape his skin, yet he smiled. Every trial, every near miss, every moment of doubt hardened his resolve. He remembered the stories, the 96 failures who came before, those who relied on strength alone. Kael relied on more than strength. He relied on ingenuity, courage, and the chaotic unpredictability of human spirit. He leaped atop a cliff as the dragon swooped below, spinning, roaring, claws tearing the stone beneath him. Time slowed. Every sensory detail sharpened. The roar, the scent of molten metal, the wind whipping his hair, the heat of the suns on his back. He reached out, hand trembling, not with fear but with anticipation, toward the metallic scales of the dragon. The dragon hissed, wings folding with controlled fury, eyes locking with Kael's in a silent test of will. This was the moment that defined the boundary between conqueror and prey, between human and legend. Kael felt the ancient energy surge through his veins, resonating with something deep in his soul. He whispered, "I am not like the others. I do not seek to dominate. I seek to understand, to prove that humans are more than survival. We are creation, cunning, courage, and fire, The metallic dragon paused, nostrils flaring, wings beating in a slow, deliberate rhythm. For the first time, Kael sensed hesitation, a flicker of recognition in the beast's molten eyes. The dragon woman watched silently, her expression unreadable, yet Kael could feel the tension crackle like static electricity in the air. He knew the challenge was far from over, yet the first crack in centuries of impossible trials had begun. Kael drew a deep breath. Every fiber was being alive with anticipation. He had survived the first trial, and the universe would soon know that the human heart, the human mind, and the human will could triumph where all else had failed. Above him, the dragon's wings spread wide, casting a shadow that could engulf worlds. Kael smiled. The air vibrated with the dragon's presence, a force older than the first stars, yet Kael's pulse did not falter. He tightened his grip on the starsteel blade, feeling its magnetic hum sync with the dragon's heartbeat. The cliff beneath him trembled as the metallic beast dipped, twisting through the sky with impossible agility. Kael's mind raced, analyzing, calculating, predicting patterns not with machines but with instinct honed through years of survival on human worlds. A flash of scales, a roar that shook the canyon, and fire erupted once again. Kael rolled to the side, feeling the heat scorch his suit, the sand beneath him melting into glass. He leaped up, twisting midair, and landed atop a crystalline spire jutting from the canyon floor. From this vantage, he could see the dragon's entire form, shimmering, massive, overwhelming, but not invincible. He traced its patterns with his eyes, noting how the wings created turbulence in the canyon, how the claws tore the rock to test strength, how its eyes flicked toward weaknesses. Then he noticed something others had missed. The dragon moved not just with instinct, but with intelligence, measuring his reactions, anticipating his next move. It was not merely a beast, it was a puzzle. Kael's lips curved into a small, determined smile. Humans did not fear puzzles. Humans solved them. He sprinted down the spire, sand crumbling beneath his feet, feeling the vibration of every beat of the dragon's wings through the soles of his boots. The dragon descended, and the air around Kael seemed to solidify with energy, charged with power, ancient and alien. He rolled under the first swipe of its claws, sparks flying as the tips of star steel and metallic scale met. Pain flared, but Kael gritted his teeth. Humans did not flinch. Humans endured. He leaped to higher ground, scanning rapidly. The dragon's eyes followed every motion, yet Kael did not retreat. He pressed forward, approaching not with fear, but with strategy. He noticed the subtle vibrations along the dragon's wings, the rhythm of its flight, the tiny pulses that hinted at its energy core hidden beneath layers of metallic scales. Kael adjusted his stance, feeling the sand shift, listening to the canyon. Then he moved, not with brute force, not with reckless courage, but with precise, calculated audacity. He darted under the dragon's belly as it swooped low, sliding across the sand on his hands and knees. The dragon's roar split the air, shaking his bones, but Kael used momentum, sliding to the base of a cliff. He slammed his star steel blade against the rock, a resonating pulse echoing through the canyon. The dragon recoiled slightly, surprised by the human's ingenuity. Kael grinned. Humans adapted. Humans survived. And humans triumphed in ways no other species could. He dashed along the cliffside, leaping across gaps that seemed impossible, the wind tearing at his hair and clothing. The dragon followed, cautious now, circling with a mixture of curiosity and respect. Kael felt the thrill of the hunt, yet he understood this was more than combat. It was communion. He had to communicate, not with words, but with action, with courage, with intelligence. Kael found himself atop a spire that rose like a jagged crown above the canyon floor. The dragon hovered, wings beating slowly, scanning him. Its molten eyes seemed to probe his very soul. Kael raised his arms, letting the hum of the star steel blade resonate through him. He felt the energy of the canyon, the suns, the ancient power of the dragon itself, and he channeled it. A pulse of light surged from his blade, harmonizing with the vibrations of the metallic dragon. The air crackled. The dragon tilted its massive head, eyes narrowing, then widening in recognition. Kael understood. This was the moment. Human courage meeting alien power, the bridge between species built not on domination, but understanding. He ran, leaping from the spire, landing on the dragon's back with precision. The dragon roared, wings folding slightly. Yet it did not throw him off. Kael held on, feeling the heat, the power, the raw force of a creature older than the stars themselves. He did not strike. He did not dominate. He communicated. With every muscle, every heartbeat, every surge of will, the dragon bucked, testing him. Yet Kael adjusted, reading its movements, anticipating, responding. Minutes stretched into eternity as human and dragon moved in harmony. Finally, the dragon landed atop the highest cliff, wings folded majestically, eyes locked on Kael. Silence fell. The twin suns cast long shadows across the crystalline canyon, and even the wind seemed to pause. Kael stood, chest heaving, sweat burning his eyes, yet his smile was unwavering. The dragon lowered its massive head, letting Kael touch its scales. The metallic surface was warmer than he expected, alive with energy, responsive to his touch. Kael whispered, "We understand each other. I am human. I adapt. I endure. I prevail." The dragon woman stepped forward, her expression inscrutable, yet her eyes shone with a new respect. "Impossible," she said softly, almost in disbelief. "No human has ever achieved this." Kael shrugged, a small, confident smile on his lips. "Humans are impossible," he said. The canyon trembled as the dragon extended its wings, a powerful gust of wind throwing Kael against a cliff. He held on, heart racing, exhilaration flooding his senses. The dragon woman circled him, wings slicing through the air like blades. "You have done what none have," she said. "You have earned not only my dragon, but my respect." Kael looked up at her, his mind racing. He knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was full of impossible challenges, ancient powers, and threats beyond imagining. Yet he was human, and humans did not fear the impossible. Humans faced it, overcame it, and transformed it into triumph. He mounted the dragon fully, feeling the surge of energy beneath him. The dragon lifted off the cliff, wings tearing through the air with force that could crumble mountains. Kael held on, senses alive, feeling the rush of speed, the scent of ozone, the vibration of raw power. He could see the horizon stretching endlessly, planets spinning in distant systems, stars exploding in silent brilliance. And he knew humanity's story was far from over. He leaned forward, whispering to the dragon, "Show me the universe." The dragon responded with a roar that echoed across light years, a challenge to the cosmos itself. Together, human and metallic dragon soared, weaving through asteroid fields, diving into ion storms, evading alien patrols that had never witnessed such mastery. Kael's mind worked faster than any AI, calculating trajectories, sensing weaknesses, improvising tactics. The galaxy was a living puzzle, filled with ancient traps, alien intelligence, and horrors beyond comprehension. Yet with the dragon beneath him and human ingenuity guiding him, every obstacle became an opportunity. They reached a derelict starship drifting near a neutron star, its hull torn, energy crackling. Kael landed the dragon atop its surface, scanning the wreckage. Alien creatures, six-limbed bioluminescent, emerged in the shadows, claws gleaming, eyes glowing with predatory hunger. Kael smiled. Humans did not flee. Humans fought. Humans adapted. He drew his star steel blade, resonating with the dragon's energy, and charged. The creatures lunged, but Kael moved with impossible speed, weaving between strikes, exploiting gaps, anticipating every move. The dragon lashed its tail, crushing several attackers, while Kael slashed with precision. Every strike a testament to human ingenuity. Minutes later, the creatures lay defeated, and Kael stood, chest heaving, adrenaline coursing through his veins. He looked at the dragon, and it lowered its massive head, wings folding in a gesture of mutual respect. Kael realized then that the universe was not only dangerous, it was alive, with challenges, threats, and mysteries. Yet humans had something no alien could replicate: courage, ingenuity, adaptability, and an unbreakable will. He whispered to the dragon, "We are just beginning." And as they lifted off, the stars stretching before them, Kael felt the thrill of endless possibility. The galaxy would remember this day. The day a human tamed the metallic dragon. The day a human proved that in a universe of impossibilities, humanity itself was the ultimate force. Above him, the twin suns of Nyra blazed, reflecting off the dragon's scales like a promise. Kael closed his eyes, letting the wind tear past him, the roar of the dragon beneath him, the thrill of the unknown ahead. Humanity's story was just beginning, and he would write the next chapter in fire, courage, and blood. Every star, every planet, every threat would test him, and he would rise. For Kael Draven was human, and humans did not fail. The dragon arched its wings, diving toward a distant nebula, swirling with colors unseen by human eyes, alive with energy older than time itself. Kael gritted his teeth with excitement. The universe would try to stop them. It would fail, for he was not just a man. He was humanity's embodiment, the living proof that courage, intelligence, and heart could conquer the impossible. He leaned closer to the dragon, whispering, "Let's show them what it means to face a human." The dragon roared in agreement, and together they streaked into the nebula, a comet of metallic light and human will. Every heartbeat, every breath, every thought was alive with the thrill of the unknown. The galaxy would tremble, the humans would rise, and Kael Draven would lead the charge. The nebula ahead swirled with violent colors, reds and purples intertwining with streaks of electric blue, like molten paint spilled across the void. Kael leaned forward, eyes wide, feeling the energy pulse against the suit. The metallic dragon beneath him hummed, its wings slicing through the ionized clouds of a rhythm that felt alive. He could feel it, not just sense it. The nebula itself breathed, resonated, and tested every particle of matter it touched. "This is no ordinary challenge," Kael muttered, gripping the dragon's scales. The dragon woman's voice echoed in his mind, sharp and deliberate. "You have tamed the dragon, human, but the universe is not won by bravery alone. The ancient powers you will face are older than your species. Prepare yourself." Kael nodded, though the words only stoked his excitement. Humans thrived on impossibility. Humans conquered when no one else could. A ripple of energy raced through the nebula, like a living predator sensing prey. Kael tightened his grip. The dragon arched its wings, leaping into the turbulence. Lightning crackled across the ionized clouds, arcing dangerously close. The roar of the metallic dragon became a shield, its wings dispersing the energy pulses into the void. Kael felt the vibration through his bones, alive with adrenaline and the thrill of the unknown. Suddenly, a fleet of alien ships materialized from the swirling clouds, angular vessels bristling with weapons that pulsed with unnatural energy. Kael scanned them. These were not ordinary raiders. They were relic hunters, the most dangerous species in this quadrant, seeking ancient power to dominate entire star systems. They had never seen a human on a metallic dragon. Kael smirked. They would learn today. The fleet surged forward, plasma beams tearing through the nebula, illuminating the swirling gases like fireworks of destruction. The dragon roared and dived, Kael holding tight as wings cut through the ship's trajectories with impossible precision. The first strike came fast. Plasma cannons aimed directly at them, tearing holes in the nebula clouds. Kael analyzed, calculated, acted. He guided the dragon in a sharp roll, letting the shot slice past them, each movement synchronized with the dragon's instincts. "This is human ingenuity," Kael shouted, voice lost in the roar of wind and wings. He adjusted the star steel blade at his hip. Though not built for space combat, it pulsed with energy, resonating with the dragon. Kael tapped into that resonance, projecting a field that deflected the first few plasma blasts. Sparks flew, catching in the dragon's metallic scales. The fleet faltered, unprepared for a force moving faster than prediction, smarter than their targeting algorithms. Kael laughed, a wild human laugh, full of thrill and defiance. Humans were unpredictable. Humans adapted. Humans survived. He launched a daring maneuver, diving through the center of the fleet. Ships collided with each other, caught off guard by the precision and audacity of the attack. Kael's mind raced, scanning the patterns, predicting trajectories not by logic alone, but by instinct honed over lifetimes of survival. The dragon banked sharply, tail lashing, sending a wave of concussive energy that tore several ships apart. Kael landed on a smaller vessel, ripping through its hull with a star steel blade, sparks flying in zero gravity. Inside, alien crew scrambled, claws and tentacles flailing. Kael moved like lightning, cutting and dodging, his human reflexes surpassing the machine-like precision of his foes. Minutes later, he emerged victorious and leapt back onto the dragon's back. The fleet hesitated, stunned. No human had ever achieved this. Kael smiled, adrenaline coursing, blood pounding. "Humans do not yield," he shouted into the void. The metallic dragon roared in agreement, wings slicing to the nebula with divine force. But the nebula had another secret. A dark mass emerged from the heart of the storm, larger than any starship, a living remnant of ancient power. Its surface shimmered with runes older than time, pulsating with energy that defied physics. Kael's eyes widened. This was the heart of Zithra, an ancient weapon rumored to consume entire star systems, long thought lost in myth. It stirred, sensing the dragon, sensing him, sensing the human audacity that dared to ride the impossible. The fleet scattered, recognizing the danger, leaving Kael alone with the ancient entity. The nebula roared, winds howling, energy crackling as the heart of Zithra opened vast, shifting appendages like cosmic tendrils. Kael gritted his teeth. Humans did not hesitate. Humans did not flee. Humans faced impossible and transformed it into victory. He whispered to the dragon, "Trust me, we can survive this. We must." The dragon's wings flared, energy resonating with the heart's pulse, a clash of forces older than the galaxy itself. Kael adjusted his stance, feeling the vibrations through the dragon, channeling every ounce of human ingenuity, courage, and instinct into their survival. The first tendril lashed out, massive and fast, shredding nearby asteroids into debris. Kael leaned forward, guiding the dragon, weaving through the storm of cosmic energy, calculating patterns in real time, moving faster than thought itself. He slashed at the tendrils with his blade, sparks of energy flying, resonating with the dragon's metallic scales. The heart recoiled, not anticipating the audacity, the precision, the chaotic brilliance of a human mind merged with ancient metallic power. Kael felt exhilaration, fear, and wonder all at once. Humans thrived in moments like this. Humans became legends in impossible spaces. He screamed, a battle cry that echoed across light years, and dove into the heart of the storm, guiding the dragon to intercept the massive appendages. The heart lashed again, energy surging, ripping at the dragon's scales, yet Kael held on, adapting, improvising, predicting every strike. Time stretched. Every heartbeat, every pulse of energy, every breath became magnified, the universe itself holding its breath. Kael realized the secret. The heart of Zithra could not be defeated by brute force, only outwitted. He calculated, anticipating the cycle of energy pulses, the vibrations in the nebula, the resonance of the dragon's wings. Then he acted, a synchronized movement, human ingenuity guiding ancient metallic power. The dragon surged, wings flaring, tail lashing. Kael leapt onto the largest appendage, holding the star-steel blade to its glowing runes. Energy rippled, surged, and exploded in a cascade of light, deafening and blinding. Kael's grip held. Human determination, ingenuity, and courage merged with the dragon's strength, creating a force the galaxy had never witnessed. The heart convulsed, massive appendages retracting, energy dissipating in waves of color and sound that reshaped the nebula itself. Silence followed, heavy and alive. Kael stood atop the dragon, chest heaving, sweat burning his eyes. The metallic dragon's wings flared, energy crackling with newfound synchronization. Kael looked around. The nebula glowed differently now, calmer, alive with a rhythm he could understand. The heart of Zithra had acknowledged him, not defeated him, not destroyed him, but recognized human brilliance. The dragon woman's voice rang in his mind. Human impossible. You bend forces older than time itself, not with power, but with intellect, courage, and will. You are not just a warrior. You are a force of evolution. Kael smiled, exhaustion and exhilaration mingling. Humans did not merely survive. Humans adapted. Humans transformed challenges into triumphs. He guided the dragon through the glowing nebula, past remnants of shattered fleets and alien wreckage. Every pulse of the heart a reminder that the universe itself had acknowledged him. Kael looked toward the distant stars. Countless worlds awaited, ancient powers and impossible threats lurking in shadow. But he was human, and humans did not yield. Humans did not falter. Humans became legends. The metallic dragon soared, wings cutting through starlight, carrying Kael toward the edge of the unknown, toward the challenges that would define the next era of humanity. Kael closed his eyes, feeling the wind, the pulse of energy, the heartbeat of the universe itself. He whispered, "Show me everything. Let the galaxy know the might of humans." The dragon roared, a metallic symphony of power and trust, and together they shot forward, into the heart of the nebula, into the living storm, into the endless possibilities that awaited. For Kael Draven was human, and humanity's story had only begun. Every star they passed, every world they would face, every ancient power they would encounter, would remember the human who tamed a metallic dragon. The universe would tremble, humans would rise, and Kael Draven would carve their legend into the very fabric of existence. The nebula swallowed them in a blaze of color, the dragon's wings cutting arcs of light, Kael's eyes burning with vision and purpose. The nebula behind them faded into starlit black, yet the glow of distant galaxies painted streaks across the void, like trails of cosmic fire. Kael leaned forward on the metallic dragon's back. Senses sharp, mind alight with calculations. Every pulse of the dragon beneath him resonated with the universe itself, a rhythm older than the oldest star, and Kael felt it coursing through his veins. They emerged from the swirling gases into an asteroid field, each rock tumbling through space with lethal precision. Kael scanned, calculating trajectories, anticipating movement, reading patterns not with machines but with the chaotic brilliance of human instinct. The dragon adjusted midair, wings slicing clean arcs, tail lashing to deflect massive rocks. Kael shouted over the roar, voice alive with exhilaration. "Nothing can stop us. Nothing in the universe outmatches a human mind." A shadow passed over them. Kael looked up to see an alien dreadnought descending from the void, a warship older than most civilizations, bristling with weapons capable of annihilating planets. Its hull shimmered with dark energy, tentacles of black plasma curling like serpents, probing the field, seeking the human audacity that dared to cross its path. Kael's pulse quickened, not with fear, but with anticipation. Humans thrived on impossible odds. Humans turned desperation into triumph. He tightened his grip, feeling the dragon's muscles coil like coiled springs beneath him. The dreadnought fired first. A wave of energy tore through the asteroid field, disintegrating rocks into glowing fragments. Kael leaned forward, guiding the dragon with precision, weaving through the destruction, matching speed with instinct honed from decades of human survival. The star-steel blade at his hip hummed, resonating with the dragon's metallic body. Kael felt an idea spark, an insight born from human intuition. If the dreadnought relied on brute force, Kael would use creativity. If it sought dominance through firepower, he would turn its strength against it. He scanned the battlefield, noticing patterns in the plasma streams, the shadows cast by rotating asteroids, the energy fluctuations around the dreadnought's hull. With a daring maneuver, Kael led the dragon through a narrow asteroid tunnel, the walls scraping wings and armor, the ship's massive cannons unable to track their unpredictable trajectory. He seized the moment. Kael leapt from the dragon's back onto a protruding asteroid, targeting a weak point in the dreadnought's hull exposed by its own firing sequence. The star-steel blade connected with a resonating pulse, tearing through shielding and metal alike. Sparks flew, plasma arcs dancing across the void. The dreadnought convulsed, massive energy tendrils lashing at the asteroid. Kael held firm, instincts guiding his every move. The dragon, sensing his intent, lunged, tail smashing into the ship, destabilizing its orientation. Kael moved like a storm of human ingenuity, jumping from rock to rock, blades slicing through energy conduits, systems sparking in defiance. Minutes stretched into eternity, the void alive with soundless chaos, a ballet of death and precision. Finally, with one coordinated strike, Kael severed a central conduit, and the dreadnought's energy core flared violently before imploding. Shards of dark metal exploded outward, scattering across the asteroid field. Kael dove, landing on the dragon just in time as the wreckage cleared. The metallic dragon roared triumphantly, wings flaring, energy pulsing through its scales in a resonant symphony. Kael laughed, pure human victorious. Humans do not merely survive. Humans overcome. The stars around them twinkled like witnesses, silent observers of human ingenuity and courage. But the victory was fleeting. From the remnants of the dreadnought, a signal pulsed, a call to ancient empires, entities older than galaxies, predators that thrived on human defiance. Kael's eyes narrowed. The universe had taken notice. Humans would be tested harder than ever before. He felt the dragon beneath him shiver with anticipation, a living vessel of power ready to answer the call. Together, they plunged deeper into unexplored space, toward sectors rumored to be haunted by ancient AI that consumed entire fleets, civilizations lost to experiments beyond comprehension, and powers older than the very concept of life. The first of these ancient entities appeared as they crossed a dim star cluster, a sentient structure of light and gravity, tentacles of luminescent energy probing toward them. Kael's heart raced. The entity did not fire weapons. It did not attack. It analyzed, calculated, sensing, probing, tried to understand the human audacity before it. The dragon flared its wings, energy resonating with Kael's presence, a statement of defiance and partnership. Kael spoke aloud, not for the entity but for himself. Humans are not predictable. Humans adapt. Humans endure. And humans thrive where others fall. The entity paused, tentacles retracting slightly, as if acknowledging the audacity of one human riding a metallic dragon. Kael's mind raced. This was not just a battle of strength, but a test of intellect, courage, and sheer human will. He guided the dragon in intricate loops, weaving through gravitational anomalies, using the nebulous energy streams to mask their presence. The entity mirrored every move, analyzing, anticipating, yet failing to predict human unpredictability. Kael smiled. Humans thrived in chaos. Humans created order from impossibility. He tapped into the star steel blade, channeling a resonance with the dragon, creating a pulse of energy that disrupted the entity's sensors. It recoiled, a ripple passing through its luminescent tendrils. Kael seized a moment. He leapt onto a luminescent appendage, blade slashing, cutting through its energy conduits, destabilizing the ancient structure. The dragon roared in synchronization, tail smashing into its core, wings flaring, energy cascading like a storm across the void. The entity convulsed, a soundless scream echoing to the gravity-warped space, then recoiled, folding into itself, retreating into the dark heart of the cluster. Kael landed on the dragon's back, chest heaving, sweat and exhilaration mixing. "Humans," he whispered, voice steady, "never yield. Humans never falter. Humans triumph." The dragon's wings beat in agreement, sending waves of energy that illuminated distant asteroids and star clusters like fireworks. Kael scanned the horizon. Beyond lay uncharted sectors, rumored to hold the remnants of entire civilizations, voids where stars had died, and entities that could unmake galaxies with thought. He smiled, feeling the thrill that only humans could experience, the unyielding drive to face impossibility and transform it into triumph. "This is only the beginning," he said, gaze fierce, resolve unbreakable. "The universe will test us, but it will learn the truth. Humans endure. Humans adapt. Humans conquer." The metallic dragon roared, wings slicing arcs through the void, carrying Kael toward the unknown, toward challenges that would define the next era of human ascendancy. Every pulse of starlight, every gravitational wave, every ancient threat became a canvas for human ingenuity. Kael leaned closer to the dragon, whispering, "Show me the impossible. Let us write our legend across the stars." The dragon responded, wings flaring, energy pulsing in synchronization with the human spirit that dared to defy the impossible. Together, they surged forward, streaking past black holes, ion storms, and remnants of ancient wars. Kael's mind raced, planning, calculating, improvising. Humans did not wait for fate. They shaped it. And every entity, every civilization, Every ancient power that would dare to challenge him would discover the same truth. Humans were not fragile. Humans were not weak. Humans were the apex of adaptability, courage, and intelligence. Kael's eyes glinted with determination. The galaxy was alive, full of threats, full of tests, but he was human, and humans did not fail. The metallic dragon arched its wings, soaring past a dying star that flared violently, debris raining around him like fiery hail. Kael laughed, exhilaration burning in his chest, as the wind of the void tore past him. Every star, every world, every ancient power ahead was an opportunity for triumph, for audacity, for human brilliance to shine. He whispered to the dragon, voice low and fierce, "Let them witness humanity's strength. Let them remember our courage. Let the impossible fall before us." The dragon roared, echoing across the void, a metallic symphony of power and trust, and together they disappeared into the uncharted, unstoppable, and infinite universe. The stars themselves seemed to lean in, watching as one human and one metallic dragon carve a path that would echo across galaxies. Kael Draven had not only survived the impossible, he had redefined it. The void stretched endlessly before them, a canvas of blackened starlight, punctuated by distant suns and swirling nebulae that shimmered with the remnants of dying stars. Kael leaned forward, gripping the metallic dragon's scales, feeling every pulse, every vibration, every whisper of energy that resonated with the universe. He could sense the weight of history in the stars, the ghost echoes of civilizations long extinct, swallowed by the void or consumed by their own hubris. And yet humanity endured. The dragon banked sharply, spiraling through a cluster of collapsing asteroids. Rocks shattered under the force of its wings, sparks scattering like fireworks in zero gravity. Kael's eyes tracked every trajectory, every possibility, calculating angles that defied machines, predicting movements with pure instinct and human ingenuity. Ahead, a dark rift tore across space, a tear in the fabric of the cosmos, writhing with energy that could unravel matter itself. Kael felt the hair on his arms rise. This was no natural phenomenon. This was a remnant of an ancient war, an experiment by civilizations older than time itself. The rift pulsed, tendrils of dark energy stretching outward, probing, testing, consuming. Kael gritted his teeth. Humans did not shrink from danger. Humans did not hesitate. Humans thrived on challenges that would crush lesser species. The metallic dragon roared, wings flaring, slicing through the gravitational turbulence, carrying Kael straight into the heart of the rift. The energy twisted around them, wrapping in coils of light and darkness, bending reality, tearing at the dragon's scales. Yet Kael held firm. He adjusted the resonance of his star steel blade, amplifying the dragon's metallic energy, creating a harmonizing pulse that countered the rift's chaotic forces. They dove deeper, spinning through streams of raw cosmic energy, twisting and turning with precision, and daring that no alien machine could match. From the shadows of the rift, entities emerged, beings of pure energy, form shifting, incomprehensible. Their eyes, if they could be called that, glowed with hunger, intent, and intelligence beyond human understanding. Kael laughed, a wild, fierce sound that echoed in the void. "You have never faced a human before. You do not understand us. We survive. We adapt. We conquer." The energy beings surged, lashing out with tendrils of plasma that could shred planets. But Kael and the dragon twisted through the attacks with impossible agility. He leapt from the dragon, blade striking a stream of energy, redirecting it back, slicing through a tendril with sparks of blue resonance. The dragon's tail smashed another appendage, metal clashing with energy in a symphony of destruction. The beings paused, recalculating, confused by human audacity, by the chaos that refused to be predicted or contained. Kael's mind raced. He realized brute force would not defeat them. Understanding, improvisation, and audacity would. He tapped into the dragon's resonance, syncing with his metallic core, amplifying their presence, and projecting a pulse of human ingenuity through the energy field. The beings faltered, energy flickering as if recognizing the strange, impossible combination of human mind and dragon power. Kael dove again, spinning through the rift, slicing conduits of pure energy, redirecting tendrils, weaving chaos into harmony. Hours, it was minutes. passed. Time became irrelevant, stretched and twisted by the forces around them. Finally, the energy beings recoiled, withdrawing into the rift, leaving a corridor of calm, the void returning to a semblance of order. Kael landed on the dragon's back, chest heaving, eyes alight with triumph and exhilaration. "Humans," he said, voice low, fierce, resonant, "are the apex of ingenuity. Nothing is beyond us. Nothing can predict us. Nothing can stop us." The metallic dragon roared, wings flaring, energy resonating with his declaration, a living instrument of cosmic defiance. Ahead, a new sector emerged, a star system untouched by human eyes. Planets gleamed with color, orbiting a sun older than any in known space. At the heart of it all hovered a colossal fortress of black metal and light, a citadel of an ancient empire thought extinct. Kael's pulse quickened. This was the seat of power, the center of ancient intelligence, where civilizations had risen and fallen, where beings older than stars plotted dominion over all life. He adjusted the dragon's wings, banking toward the system with deliberate precision. "Prepare yourself," he whispered, eyes burning, mind racing. "This is the trial that will define humanity's place in the galaxy." The Citadel's defenses activated instantly. Beams of dark energy arced outward, tearing through space, annihilating asteroids in their path. Kael guided the dragon through a series of impossible maneuvers, weaving to the firestorm, feeling every pulse of energy, predicting every strike. The dragon's wings clashed with the beams, sparks flying, energy resonating across its metallic scales, forming a protective shield of harmonic resonance. Kael's grin widened. Humans did not rely solely on strength or technology. Humans relied on ingenuity, adaptability, and audacity. He leapt from a dragon's back onto one of the outer defense platforms of the Citadel, star steel blade cutting through energy shields like paper. Alien sentries emerged, bioluminescent and clawed, their eyes glowing with predatory intent. Kael moved like a storm, each strike precise, every movement calculated, every reaction faster than thought itself. The dragon lashed, sweeping to the platform with tail and wing, amplifying Kael's attacks, turning the impossible battle into a display of raw coordination and human brilliance. Minutes later, the platform lay in ruins, Kael standing atop it, breath heaving, adrenaline surging. The Citadel itself trembled, massive energy flows shifting, sensing the human who dared defy every law of its ancient existence. Kael climbed higher, scaling the fortress walls, navigating traps older than most galaxies, surviving hazards that had destroyed entire species. He reached the inner sanctum, a chamber filled with floating orbs of energy, each a consciousness older than human comprehension. They spoke, not in words, but in thoughts, probing his mind, analyzing, testing, seeking to crush the human will. Kael laughed softly, a human sound of defiance. "You may be older, you may be powerful, but you do not understand humans. We endure, we adapt, we triumph where others fall." The orbs recoiled, sensing the truth in his declaration, the indomitable fire of human spirit. Kael raised his blade, the resonance amplifying the metallic dragon's presence outside, creating a symphony of energy that echoed through the Citadel. The orbs shifted, energy flaring, and for the first time, Kael sensed hesitation, an acknowledgement of human audacity. He smiled. Humans were unpredictable, chaotic, brilliant. No system, no entity, no ancient intelligence could fully anticipate the power of human ingenuity combined with courage. The dragon landed outside the inner chamber, massive wings flaring, as Kael prepared for final confrontation. The Citadel itself pulsed, energy beams converging, as if the entire structure was alive, aware of the human who dared to walk its halls. Kael's eyes burned with determination. Every trial, every impossible obstacle, every ancient force had prepared him for this moment. He whispered to the dragon, "This is it. Humanity does not yield. Humanity conquers. Together, we define the impossible." The orb surged forward, a cascade of ancient power and intelligence, yet Kael moved with impossible speed, weaving, striking, using every ounce of human creativity and courage. The dragon roared, wings flaring, tail smashing into floor, amplifying Kael's resonance. creating a force that even the ancient intelligence could not fully counter. Energy collided, light and darkness clashing, the chamber shaking, reality itself warping under the combined force of human ingenuity and metallic power. Kael felt the rush of triumph, the exhilaration of defiance. Humans did not rely on luck. Humans relied on audacity, intelligence, and unbreakable will. The orbs convulsed, energy flaring, until finally they yielded, dispersing into harmless streams of light, acknowledging the human who had survived the impossible. Kael stood, chest heaving, eyes alight with victory. The dragon roared, wings flaring, the fortress trembling beneath the combined force of their presence. Kael whispered, voice fierce, resolute, and human, "The universe will remember this. Humans endure. Humans prevail. Humans define the impossible." Outside, the stars shimmered, distant galaxies bearing witness. The ancient citadel had acknowledged the human, not as prey, not as a tool, but as a force of evolution, of defiance, of ingenuity beyond measure. Kael mounted the dragon fully, ready to soar into the endless cosmos. The universe awaited. Planets, civilizations, ancient powers, all would come to test them. But humans would rise. And Kael Draven, atop a metallic dragon, would lead the charge. Every star, every nebula, every forgotten corner of the galaxy would tremble at the audacity, courage, and brilliance of humanity. The dragon flared its wings, energy pulsing, and together they streaked toward the unknown, unstoppable, unyielding, and impossible to ignore. The legend of the human who tamed a metallic dragon was only beginning, and the galaxy would never forget.